Hi. It's been a while. What's up? What's everybody? It's me. It's up. What fuck. What's up? It's Juggy. Um I there's a lot of stuff. Okay. So, the title is not clickbait technically. But hi. Been a while. I remember making this channel when I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to like do moist critical type of videos, make commentary and whatnot." Um, haven't posted on anything in a long ass time, so it's gonna be surprising that this video goes up, and then maybe people go crazy. But we'll see. We shall see. So I just thought I might, because I got okay. Just recently, I got an idea when it comes to videos and content and life. I guess there's a lot of backstory I'm going to give in this video, and there isn't going to be cutting. This is a very raw channel for me. Like literally, this is the type of channel where I don't make any cuts at all. I just record it and upload it. But main point is, I'm rambling on too long. It's been a minute and 28 seconds. Okay? So, bit of some backstory. Now, it's about, so this is the whole backstory. So I'm just gonna give a whole backstory from like when everything when everything started to now where we're at, so that you understand the progression of everything. So all started around the beginning of 2025, right? I'm working my job. I'm doing videos. I have been uploading twice a week for like 2 years straight. And at this point, sorry, I'm getting also at the end of a high at the moment because I just started kind of freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, such a good idea. And that's the idea I'll tell about in just a second. Okay, hope I can keep train of thought really decently well. But so it's early 2025. I've been uploading videos. I'm doing my thing. I'm at my job that I'm actually pretty okay at, and I actually had some drama. Went over to another thing, and But I was working, and then I was like, there's a point in time where I was really into Sherlock. I still am. I watch that show quite a lot. But well, I don't know if you can tell, I have had some personality changes and outfit changes. I have a wardrobe, so to speak, and it's been lovely. Main point is, so I get really into Sherlock, right? And then I'm like, I want to be able to do exactly what he does. I proceed to go, okay, he knows random shit about everything, so I might as well read a book on everything. So I started binging books. Luckily, my dad, he had a bunch of books on like Audible. And so now I have a bunch of books to read. At the moment, 447, if I'm not wrong. I started reading a lot of books. There's a lot of books on philosophies and other things that are actually really nice. And then I came across biographies of an Elon Musk and a Steve Jobs. Now, as I tell this story, I will admit the book for the biography or for Elon Musk has been carrying me a long way for this whole time. So, you know, I know there's controversy around Elon Musk, but that has to tie in with something here that of whatever is going to happen after this video. So then I'm like reading and this and that, and it's actually a really good time. I'm learning a lot of shit. That was fantastic stuff. I got a job offer. I went to go work with my uncle over in Ireland. I could shout out the channel right now. They're doing some really cool stuff. It's called Kiloski Hane Castle. You know, you might have heard of it, or you might not. But they're doing some cool stuff over there. And I got to work, and I was getting to work as their social media consultant. That's an actual title that I now can say that I technically have done as a job, which is fantastic. But sorry, just a little bit of a brain fog. So I am getting excited because I'm doing all of this, and I'm like reading, and I'm like getting to know a lot of things, and at the same time I'm also going to be employed and doing something that I love to do, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. I'll do everything I want to be able to do, and then I'll be able to have it as a job, and then I'll be able to continue what I'm doing, and then it's all just flutters and flies. It was going fucking fantastic. And I met a friend. This friend of mine, his name is Karanzi. Hi Karanzi, how you doing today? Well, I am friends with him, and we've made some videos and things like that. So then at this point, I've also met this guy, and it's very exciting. So I'm just like, well, there's a lot of YouTube stuff to get done. Now, for the record, this crown is a general channel prop, so, you know, do as you will, but main point is, so then I'm like, great, I'm getting ideas. And then since I read biographies, now this is something I'll bring up. This is where everything starts to take off. So at this point, I'm having my job. I'm doing YouTube. I've been uploading for all these months. And then I read these books. And then honestly, it was whenever number one, I read some finance books, but then two, I read those biographies. But Elon Musk's one really made a difference in my head, because I started thinking about I started trying to optimize shit, and it was a little bit nuts. But main point is, so I'd read that biography, and it changed a lot of things that I was thinking at this time. I also read a book called what is it called? Enlightenment Now by Steven Pinker. I think that's what it's called. Wait, I might be wrong on the name, but it's definitely something Pinker. Main point is, read that book, eye-opening, amazing stuff. Knew all sorts of stuff after that. But then came the situation of, since I had read Elon Musk's book, there's a lot of stuff that he does that's very inspiring. And assuming, this is obviously for me as a reader who is starting to understand Elon Musk, I never knew him. I just knew him as a person that existed somewhere, and he might have been rich. But then funnily enough, as soon as I started reading this book, then all of a sudden everything fucking clicks together, and it was weird. But I read this thing, I was like, okay, you know what? I might as well learn something about someone. And I have heard that this is a good book. Or not heard, but I've seen that this is a good book. Maybe by chance. So I read it, and I'm just like, holy shit, that's crazy shit. Then again, this is also me being optimistic about the stories about it, because I know that he has a lot of controversy based off the politics and everything else that he's done. So, you know, this is from the optimistic standpoint, that he apparently did all these things. This gave me inspiration. Really big inspiration. And I'm like, great. I get to do everything that I want to do. I realize, oh, the truest way to make your own, make an unlimited income is to make your own business. And I realized, holy shit, that's something I should do. Now, that is something that I still have in mind at the moment, and we shall see how things go. But that is something that I do want to do. Now, sorry, I'm just kind of spacing out just a little bit. Now, At this point, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to optimize every second of my life so that I can waste no time. Actually, no, that's actually a lie. What I actually had that prior done was make a New Year's resolution. And this that 2025 New Year's resolution was wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and don't waste time. Because I realized that time is a very important factor in life. It is the one thing that you will never have more of. Whatever you have now is everything you'll be using in the future. And this is something that I internalized. And so then I started freaking the fuck out. So I started optimizing things. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this at this time. I'm gonna be really good at just getting stuff done. Now, at this time, everything was going fine. I actually felt fucking fantastic because I was on a schedule. I was doing things on a consistent basis. I was killing it. I was even making my own food. I was just doing my own thing. This is still when I was living with my parents. Oh yeah, by the way, in case you couldn't tell after 11 minutes of this video, I moved. Welcome to the new studio for the crock and croquettes that are going to be coming around when it comes to everything that we're doing here. We're here now. This is my new place. This is where I'm going to be doing all of my videos, which are going to be something I'm going to be announcing at the end of this video. You'll see this whole story come to a fold. So, at this point, we've read all these books. We're getting inspiration. We're thinking about wanting to run a business at the same time of running the YouTube channel, because that was the unlocking point. You'll have complete freedom if you can just run something and sell it to people, and that's the whole thing. And I was like, well, shit, that's really cool, and I want to do that. That was my revelation, at least. So then, at this point, I've made a schedule for myself. I use ChatGPT. I was like, okay, cool. Hey, let's make a schedule for myself, and we do. I follow it to an exact T. It felt amazing having been able to do everything, just like purely schedule it out and just be like, okay, cool, we're just gonna run something. Although now this makes me curious because I'm thinking back a little bit further back, and I remember before I turned 20 years old. By the way, I'm 21 now. Hi, yeah, happy birthday to me. Fantastic. I didn't even post about it on my store. I didn't even post my community posts. Wow, I have not been on YouTube for a while. Okay, now let's get to the main point. So, at this point, I figured out that I need to make a business. Making a business will make the ultimate control over my life kind of situation. I will not get that if I'm going to be working a 9 to 5. So then I go, okay, cool. I actually had the idea and still kind of tango with it, but video editing agency. But something I wanted to do was do a specific type of agency where it was only specific kinds of videos. Like the editing is like the type of like where it's not like the slap and paste or whatever the fuck. It's just more whatever. I don't need to tell you the details. Well, I can actually. Yeah, I'll say the details. I was like, okay, cool. Agency that is focused on editing videos, duh, but the editing is extremely superior. Just like every fucking video that would be pushed through the whole thing would be like, it's a massive story. That was the like general idea, a little rough idea, but it was something. And I was like, I'm an editor, and then I can also hire people, and da 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 da. I was having all these great ideas. Now, at this time, I had made myself a schedule. I had got an idea for the business. I had got an idea for YouTube stuff. Everything was going swell. But then I had a dream, and and I'm not gonna say what the dream was, but it just kind of threw me off. And at this point, I didn't like that it messed up with my schedule because I was going to, I was gonna wake up and do stuff and just be on time with everything and actually like work. it was a fun time. It felt so nice to like have different times, and then you just focus, and then I just kind of knew how to. I just knew how to kind of do shit. But what was I gonna say? Yes. So I woke up. This dream fucked me up, and then I proceeded to not follow the schedule. It broke on me, and I was like, "Oh shit." The like a couple days later, I'm at home, and I just go, you know what? I'm going to sit down outside and sit there until I figure everything out. Everything. And make it so that I, at some point, would get up straight away and just follow my schedule that I had set for myself. But unfortunately, I sat out there for 3 hours and proceeded to experience an existential crisis. It was lovely. Absolutely not. It was fucking ass. Because it has ruined everything and almost, well, ended things. That's where this tile comes in. So, at this point, I had paused uploading to my main YouTube channel because I felt annoyed that I felt annoyed that I wasn't putting the same creativity and other things and also like, high quality into my content as I could be. Because I was just kind of shit posting more or less. I was doing fudgy style stuff. I was just doing like general things. But I know I can do more than that. So at that point, I stopped uploading for a little while because I just needed to be able to find ways to have new ideas. I still am struggling with that right now, but that's besides the point. So then we've come to a new standstill. I had an existential crisis. I didn't even know why to do anything. Now, you might notice that this is conveniently placed, so I'm being employed soon to my uncle at this time. I have been doing fantastic, learning all sorts of new shit. I'm excited to do things and excited to conquer everything. So keep in mind, I'm in this state. I'm absolutely bombing it right now. This crisis fucked everything up. Everything. And it hurt. So immediately, this is where the video starts to get rough because then this is where everything went downhill. Everything. This has been since if you're watching this and you've made to this point, this is like the one video I've made in 8 months of any kind because I just fucking died. Nearly. Literally nearly. But everything was going amazing. But then this whole thing came down on me. And my first thought was, I should end it. That was my first exact thought. Just was, oh, okay, well, nah. Because I had made the assumption, my crisis was, I am but a speck within this universe. I'm not going to make much difference. And so far at this point, I had not made any much difference. I had a little bit. My channel was going quite well. In fact, it was doing the best it had been in ever. Everything was great. But this crisis, it just like it got me real good. So at this point, I paused uploading, and at this point, I also just been like, you know what? Nothing matters. Why do anything? I will be irrelevant. I might as well end it. It was a logical thing. So now you officially know the turning point to where I became suicidal and had suicidal ideation. I was thinking about it constantly. It was, and it still kind of is. It's something that I'm like, still fighting. And I guess now, in technicality, whatever I'm doing right now is going to be, something that came out of it. But main point is, so at this point, I am freaking the hell out. I'm just like, I should die. I should die. Nothing matters. Everything is a farce, and I should just die. And I hadn't been uploading, and I felt bad that I hadn't uploaded in a couple weeks, and it was already tearing at me. And then at the same time, I was just getting really depressed. Was like, okay, I literally just was like, okay, I'll go on a VR chat and shit. And then when I was in the state, I just didn't know what to do. I was like, just doing work and this and that. And I was just like, well, shit. I gave myself a chance to do something crazy and to just follow something and just go through with it and get to where you want to go. I, whew, sorry, I'm also just realized I'm getting also off this high. 21 minutes. Okay, let's see if we can get more story out here. So then I'm in this state. I don't feel like doing anything. Everything feels far and off and whatever. I'm depressed as hell. At this point, I'm like literally like, okay, I'm gonna probably end it. But we'll see. And now we're seeing still. But then I met my ex. Now. I met my girlfriend at the time. Uh and for the sake of everything, I'm not gonna say any names because obviously they're an ex, but or say any names or any ages or anything. I'll just be given the full feedback story, and it's gonna be interesting. So, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I meet this person, and now it's like talking to them, they're talking to me. I there was negatives, things were positive, whatever. I'll I'll just whatever. Main point is, I just need to get to the point. So I have at this point, I had met this person, and then I was also depressed as hell, almost suicidal, nearly did it 3 times during that year, but we'll get to each one. Because each one was like closer and closer, and then it was just like whatever. But then I go on this big trip. I hadn't been uploading for a week. I was now feeling like everything was dead. Everything was gone. Then I go over to Ireland. Still talking to this person, and then during this job, it's a bit challenging because I had an idea of what it was, but the requirements I had not internalized. It was a good job and it was a good experience, and like the only thing that was a rough thing though during this whole time was the fact that unfortunately I have anxiety with going to different countries, and was going to do this job. It's a dream job of mine. Like I'll like could have asked for better. Then but then at the same time during this time I also had like an editing burnout. So I just didn't want to edit anything. Um and that's also what kind of came into play when it what came to my main channel. I was just like, oh shit, you know, whoa. And I got overwhelmed with editing and couldn't do it, and then like I just broke down or whatever. But anyway, so then this inspiration got in the way of this new job, because this new job was like an opportunity for me to be able to grow and advance and stuff. And it's like, great, I'm using something that I have literally done as only a hobby for these years, and this whole opportunity got fucked by me because I was depressed, and then I was already like thinking constantly about wanting to kill myself. And then I was also talking to this other person, and that was going how it went. And then there was like, the work experience was as it was. There was good and there was bad, but I'm gonna say that honestly because it was fine. I just had the anxiety, and then also the fact that like I had all like at this point everything of my ambition was gone. I was like, there is no worth of anything. There's nothing at all at all entirely. So then I was sucking at editing. I was sucking at being on time. I was sucking at doing pretty much everything because I had no inspiration. And I, at this point, was like weighing any odds. In fact, I almost attempted before I even left Ireland to come back home. And then I had also messed up the whatever the thing was. I kind of messed up customs. So then I just, I could only stay a month, then came straight back. And then something happened. I came back 2 weeks after I came back, and this was around July at this point. And at this point, also, I had started like a relationship. I started the relationship with this someone by May 8th. Uh, and so it's like, I've been in this little thing, and it's also not been the greatest thing, but it had its moments. It was fine. My grandfather died. I'm also not going to name specifics, but it sucked, but it was also very nice, and I can talk about it if anybody wants to hear about it, but that's unbeknownst to me. That's not the right wording. Whatever it is. That happened. And then I was also having to find a new job. And I just came back to work at the place that I've already been working at. And then I proceeded to get an apartment. And now that's where I live. So at this time, I'm like, okay, I'm calmed down. I should live. I should do all these things. The suicide was really something that like kind of got to me because I nearly did it before I came back. I nearly did it before I left, and I nearly did it a couple more times. But um, a lot of shit happens. So then, yeah, during this whole time as well, I'm like talking to this person, and then we start dating, and then we're like often like we're just kind of doing our thing, and then my YouTube is doing nothing, and then I am at this job, leave this job conveniently at a time where my grandfather dies. I get to witness that, and then I go on to getting a job, getting an apartment, which I'm at now, and then I'm still like, oh, like maybe it ain't so bad, felt really weird. My friend helped me with like the first round of just like I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fucking do it. Um Sorry, I'm just like thinking in my head because there's a lot that's like a lot more to happen as I'm talking about this story. But I've been taking a long time here, and if anybody at all has been watching this so far, fantastic to you, thank you. But then again, this is also just like a whole journey starter. But so at this point, I've come back home. I have a job. I found my own place. I'm in a relationship, and I am not doing well when it comes to YouTube, and I have no inspiration. I'm just like whatever. Da, 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 da. And then I'm also feeling like I've lost who I was because I had inspiration, but the inspiration was gone. And at this point, I'm just kind of floating. Now, because of some, so then like later on, then I meet some like really nice coworkers, and it's like everything's going fine. Now, what am I going to say next? I will say I'm coming out the end of my high, obviously, and I'm saying all this story. A lot of it is trying to be patched up, but I will just say a lot of the shit here is going to be like heavily redacted because I won't be speaking about people in a very big way just because I don't like, sell personal information. So you won't know you won't know who most of these people are. I'll just say maybe who, like a family member or whatever, but I'm not going to say names or anything. So I don't know why I need to say this. Main point is, so now I'm at this job. I am living alone. I am now doing all these things. I have no inspiration for any kind of content. And at this point, I have also discovered that, so then, okay, yeah, so then, and then me and this person, we move in together. She lived here. That was great. And then it ended after a month of being here, and that's the most I'll say. It's just it kind of ended, and then I was just kind of sad because I was like, man, I have some, like, some wants, and like this is where it then started to kind of trigger, like stuff started to kind of go downhill just a tiny bit, but not strictly because of her. I just like I realized that I didn't have some certain relationships or some certain emotional needs that I wanted were just not being fulfilled. I won't be going into crazy detail, but those are the kind of main reasons. And so I just was like, I'm just gonna end it. I couldn't, and I literally was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna make it past 2027 or make it to that if nothing crazy changes. Now, this is the point where I have to give some condolences. No, not condolences, sorry, some appreciation. Number one, to my cousin, you know who you are. I want you to know you are the one reason why I am here. I probably won't get emotional because I'm just saying this because I'm looking at a camera and I'm trying to be more camera ready, even though I'm kind of high. And then I'm also 30 minutes in, and I don't want to be like, making this a long ass video and everything just comes whatever. So, thank you. My cousin had sent me a message. Um, and it was a very nice one because I was just convinced I wasn't gonna make it more than a month, more than 2 weeks after I got back from a family vacation for the holidays because I was just like, I don't have the energy in me to do anything. you probably single-handedly saved me, honestly, because I would have done something until this point, and I didn't. And I actually am starting to have more inspiration now, and I'll say that in a second of what it was. But thank you. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of some. I'm just zoning out a little bit every now and then. But thank you. And then to any family members, I appreciate all the support that has been given over all the mental health stuff that I have been going through, self-induced or not. It's been lovely, so thank you for all that. And thank you guys for the opportunity. I apologize for, what had happened. Uh, or actually, no, I'm saying this in a really weird way. My brain is. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm sorry that I kind of more or less kind of made it weird. Um, and yeah, just trying to make sure I keep everything kind of more or less down low because there's some personal details I would want to keep away or like keep to the whatever. But I'm just trying to make sure I'm like because otherwise I'm probably gonna, that's just conversations I'll be having on my own turf. Main point is, so at this point I have come home, and then I also have been starting to get into the pot, and I was like, I'm gonna end it very soon, and then it happened. I got high and it scared the shit out of me of the thought of ending my life. It made me scared because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it possibly any day now. But it obviously didn't happen. And I was just like, holy shit, I know I don't want to do anything. Now, I'm also the type that wants to be able to accomplish a decent amount. Like those are getting weird. Also want to be able to accomplish a decent amount. Um, sorry, okay. 3 steps. So, what was I gonna say? Shit, it's almost 4 minutes. Okay. So, through everything we've talked about so far, now I'm here. Done through some personal development. And I am the type who wants to accomplish things, right? But I'm just sad that I don't accomplish them. Now, I got an idea. This is where I guess is the ending of like the everything is sad now, and now I have a big thing. I want to be able to grow as a person for myself and also be able to just, because at this point, I have had this existential crisis. I've been having suicidal ideation. I've been having a lot of these rough feelings and things like that. And that's kind of like ammo, just like at this point, I don't care. I might as well do whatever the fuck I can and just enjoy life to the fullest of however I can. Now, with that in mind, I started to realize why it was a bad idea and I gave myself points for why I should keep on going. And then today I just was like I was getting an idea. I was getting a really big idea because I haven't uploaded in a while. I've literally just been like standing by, hoping that I'll someday do the thing. But that's where that should end now. I had an idea. There's a quote by Elon Musk. Whatever you want to accomplish within 10 years, try to accomplish it in 6 months. You'll most likely fail, but you'll get farther than most. I've been going through a lot of personal development when it comes to knowing who I am and understanding what it is that I want to do with things and like general life, like where do I want to go moments, you know? So that's where this challenge comes in. I have 10. So what do I want to accomplish in 10 years? I'm going to quickly pull up my notebook. This is my journaling notebook. I've been using it and I'm going to use it to well, first of all, it actually well number oh yeah, fucking duh. Though I got it so that I can journal. I need to be able to think about what I'm doing. I need to think about everything. I need to be able to process and write it all down into something that can fit in my code. Lovely stuff. Now, I had some schedule ideas for the uploading schedule. I might as well read those as well. But I have the Beat Saber channel 3 times a day, 3 songs a day. React channel, one video a day. The vlogs, these vlogs, infinite a day, because what I'll probably do is just record them. I'll record the vlogs every day and maybe multiple times a day, giving updates of this whole thing. The King Croc channel of me doing like the gaming stuff. King Croc Man, my main channel, once a week, once a day for the King Croc, and then vlog infinite times a day. And then what do I want to accomplish in 10 years? So let's read them out. Hitting 100K on my main channel, King Crocman. Hitting 10K on everything else. So this one, and then my 4 other channels. Or no, 3 other channels that are not this one. Getting monetized on at least one of them. That'd be lovely. Be a top 1K worldwide in Beat Saber. That's a skill that I have, but I want to try and, improve it. And that's something I would want to try and accomplish in 6 months. Or in 10 years at least. Finances, so that I have emergency savings and I have decent money skills or whatever. A house, that's a stretch. This is a big stretch, but I'm here to see what is possible. And that's what I want to be able to oh yeah, and then daily adventure is the last one. This challenge that I'm trying to set for myself is what I'm trying to do here. It's me trying to see if I can push the limits of my own self and accomplish everything that I can in the shortest amount of time and document it because it might inspire other people to do so the same. I've been through a lot, at least for me, but I'm also quite a person who has been born with a safe environment, and I am the type that or not the type. What am I saying? I have grown up safe. I haven't had much happen. The only thing that's happened here is my brain. But maybe that's valid, maybe that isn't. But it was rough. And I want to be able to show that. No, it's not about showing. It's about me proving to myself that I can accomplish something because I've been having troubles with ambition or inspiration and stuff like that. I want to And I also know that there's someone out there who would love to witness somebody attempt to do crazy shit. This is crazy for me at least, but the whole thing is we're going to try and make every day a new adventure entirely. I'm going to try and get everything that I wanted to get within 10 years in the next 6 months. And of course, you'll see the progress where I'm approaching with things and everything like that. Because if I fail, there is no failing. I am just going to be acting as in every day is a start for the next 6 months of what I can accomplish. And that line will always move, but at least I'll be accomplishing what I can. And I thought I might have you guys join along, which means that you'll be seeing the behind the scenes. I'll be publishing a lot more here for this. You'll be seeing all the other channels, and you can see my progress in each of those. And if you'd like to support, well, we'll get there when I get there. But basically, the whole story is I almost died. I have rethought of life. And now I want to make it so that I will live a life that I will remember. And I'll accomplish what I can. That is a very hot take, though. I say this, but there's also the chance that just like I make a big deal out of this, which is usually what happens. That's why I'm making these videos. I want to prove to myself by showing everyone else, I guess, how this could be done and how to just break limits. But that's what we shall see. But I want to see if I can do something because I don't want to waste every day of my life. I don't. I want to be able to do a lot of things. And I want to be able to live it to the fullest and not be someone who's held back for any reason. So, in that case, welcome to the new me. It's been a long time. I've had a lot of character development. There's been a lot of stuff that I've been dealing with and went through, and inspiration and disappointment and really sad times and really fucking great times. And now it's me coming full circle. I have made myself an outfit. I've made myself a personality. I have some reasoning for doing things in my life right now as well. I'm more in myself. I've grown in. So I shall see where things take me. And that's the whole thing. I'll have you guys join along with it. Now, it's been a long ass time. If you are still here, well done. I appreciate it. Now, this means that if you'd like to see this happen, I'm planning on doing this literally starting tomorrow. If you'd like to witness every day of me trying to make every day an adventure and accomplishing my dreams of what I want in 10 years and 6 months and see what's possible, then join along for the journey. On the other hand, thank you all so much for watching. Look forward to new videos. And thank you to everybody. And let's see where all this heads. All right. Have a lovely one. Bye.